Just a quick video, second video I've made. Earlier on today I made a video about my favourite opening, the Scotch, as white. So I thought, well, I'll show you my favourite opening as black against the Queen's Gambit. It's funny really, because just a few weeks ago I hated playing against the Queen's Gambit. I was basically playing a game where white told me what I was doing throughout the whole game. I just never knew how to play against it. And then I come across the Albin Counter Gambit, which goes a little bit like this. I mean, rarely you will see white take here. You'll retake with the queen and chess goes on. If white moves the knight here, just pick your pawn back up and play chess. If white takes instead, just pick the queen up and you're going to be slightly better. White's got no castling rights after he takes the queen. The Stockfish says it's equal, but I prefer to be black in this position, I believe. And you'll normally see white take, well, 95% of the time at least, white taking on e5. Here we want to play d4, restricting this knight's development, annoy white a little bit, make him want to get rid of it by playing either e3 or knight to f3. Two of the most common moves you'll play against. So we'll go over these two. I want to keep it short and sweet. I'm not used to making these videos, so I'll do my best to make it as instructive as possible. And hopefully you'll take it, play with it, learn more about it, and I absolutely love playing it against Queen's Gambit, which will, all in all, make chess more enjoyable, which is the aim. So we'll go over this one first, e3. Want to play bishop to b4, and you'll never see the knight here, and if it does, well, this is great. I've not seen knight blocking on d2 yet. I've not seen king move here. I've always seen bishop blocking on d2. We want to hang the bishop and take on e3. Reason being is because if white sees this opportunity, Stockfish will have a seizure in black's favour. There we go. So, well, this is what we want to see, because we will go ahead into, this is the Lasker Trap, by the way. We'll go ahead and take on f2 with check. Oops, check. Believe it or not, I've actually had this in one of my games, and in this position they resigned, which is pretty understandable. So the only move really is king to e2, unless they want to lose the queen. You want to go and pick this knight up and make your own knight. I'll show you why. Let's just make a queen, which is silly. White won't take here first, because if they do, they've just lost their advantage. White will take here first with check, and after we retake, they'll take our second queen, and it's slightly better for white, and we don't want that. We want to be winning. So this is why we make a knight with check. So white realistically has to pick up the knight. And sorry, quickly, this doesn't work because knight will block with an advantage for white. So, sorry, I'll do it again. We'll make a knight. Rook takes, and now we skewer the king to the queen. And whatever white does will win the queen next, and you'll be in a position where white will understandably resign again. So I'll show you what white should do instead of taking this bishop here on b4. White should just pick the pawn up on e3. I mean, this is slightly better for black. We're leaving the opening in a, instead of a slight advantage being in white's favour, it's now an odd favour in this position. And do whatever you want to switch this off. Do whatever you want from here as black. Just play chess, play solid. You're probably aiming to castle in the future queenside. So we'll go over this variation if you like. Knight here, trying to attack this pawn again. You want to play. Remember, don't play this straight away because you'll just lose the pawn. Play knight to c6 first. Now this isn't quite as strong if they play e3 anymore, but it's still works. You want to play now bishop to b4 check, and after they block, pick the pawn up again. If they pick the bishop up, leave that for a second, go take this. Again, if they pick the pawn up, we've got the queen. So they'll play king to e2. They've lost the castling rights. Now pick the queen up. And then the bishop. And we've left the opening into the middle game with a decent advantage as black. Another thing you may see is, again, white taking here. And this is what white should do. It's very equal, and we're back to just playing chess. You have two sets of connected pawns. White has this slightly damaged structure, but maybe a little bit easier development, possibly. It's fairly equal. So you're in an equal position after playing a gambit as black here. Just a quick one I want to go through. Sorry, I forgot to go through it. After this, what you should play is black after white takes here. Oops, sorry. After white takes here, if he plays this, the idea is queen h4, which is, well, it comes with check, and white doesn't really have. You'll usually see white block here. That's the one. And instead of this, we want to play queen to e4, threatening the rook. So if white takes, we win the rook. It's a bishop for a rook, and if we're going into the end game, that's usually better. So yeah, this is what we're threatening right here. So all white should do here is block with the knight. Again, if they play properly, they're going to enter a very equal position, and that looks a little bit like this. And again, as black, you want to develop, take advantage of this pawn being weak, take advantage of this pawn in the end game being weak. We've got a slight advantage again. I prefer to play as black in this position, definitely. Obviously, we need to do something about the queen. It's under attack, so let's just... where do you want to put the queen? Wherever you want. I just want to show you how tricky it can be for white, really quick. After white blocks here, if you take and they take with the queen, you just win the knight. If they take with this knight, you win with the rook. So they have to take properly. They can't play lazy moves. They have to think about what they're doing. Definitely, it's a tricky. It's an opening where it's played properly by both sides. You're gonna have you're gonna leave the opening in an equal position. It's definitely an opening where white has to think about what they're doing. If they don't think about what they're doing, they can easily slip up, and white's going to have a very big advantage, or in the worst case scenario, an equalised position. So that is why I like the Albin Counter Gambit. It's fairly straightforward to play as black. If they fall in the Lasker Trap, it's so much fun and very devastating for your opponent. So hopefully it's been instructive. Hopefully, if you were scared of d4 after seeing this video, you'll be like, oh yeah, I want to play against d4 now. General idea is you're castling queenside. you're trying to match your opponent's aggression in the counter gambit, basically. That's the idea. So if you're not an aggressive player, it's probably not a great thing to be doing. So yeah, again, I hope it's been instructive, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.